Okay, next question up. The iPad 2 has a camera.
Yes.
You've used that camera on occasions. Can you tell us some stories about using the camera or suggestions for other teachers?
Absolutely. We use the camera a lot, actually. The very first time I used it was in the beginning of the year. The state mandated that we had to teach a week of respect. And for kindergarten, I was toying with the idea of how exactly do I teach respect that they would understand, because it usually has to do with big words, and sometimes it's very complicated for the kids. So just one day, one of the kids, we had to get to the library very quickly. We had just gotten in to start the day, and of course in kindergarten, as with early childhood, sometimes kids need to go to the bathroom right away, and so we ended up having a line of kids needing to go to the bathroom. So as we waited, I told the students, let's save some time for our first time going down the library. Let's practice our library rule, which in our library at our school is browser in, book out, book in, browser out. From our librarian for many years, that's been her rhyme that she teaches the children. And so I decided to use the camera on the iPad and record the kids as they were modeling the behavior and saying the chant. Once everybody came out of the bathroom, we walked down, and by that time we were about 10 minutes late. So when we walked in, I knew the librarian was going to be a little bit nervous, and I handed her the iPad, and the kids told her, let's watch the video. And she didn't know what to make of it, and so we played the video, and she saw it and listened to the kids and said, that was wonderful. So we did it to save time. And so she loved it, said, this is great, we'll go, and the kids could go get their books out. We didn't miss anything at all within the classroom. And then on the way back, as I was thinking about the respect again, we always talk about how we should walk in the hallway and be respectful to the rest of the school and the other classes. We're not making a lot of noise. So I decided to quietly turn on the iPad camera, and I recorded the kids as they walked back, unbeknownst to them. And then when we got back to the classroom, I played it for them, and I said, well, what was happening here? And a couple of the kids had led to a discussion of how that was showing respect for everybody else in the class, everybody else in the school. We were respecting the things that were on the wall by not touching the things on the walls and the bulletin boards. So it really came in very, very handy. And that led to the kids every couple of days going, okay, can we make a video today? Can we make another video of showing respect within the classroom? How do we sit at our tables doing tasks? How do we wait? And we use sign language. Can we show about how we should be polite using sign language so as not to interrupt other students? So it really came in handy. It was great, and the kids absolutely went to it and loved it. And I still use the camera on a weekly basis. There's always something that comes up within the kindergarten class that we want to
So what's an example of something that pops up that you might use the camera?
A child reading a story, a child who might be reluctant to realize in kindergarten, to realize that they know how to read or that they feel comfortable with it. And so if they're sitting down in a free time with a book with another student and going over something that I had done with them before, if I see them reading, I'll turn on the camera. They won't know anything about it, and then I'll play it back for them a little bit later and say, see what a great reader you are. You do have that. It kind of builds that confidence with the kids. Other times too is I've had students when they're building in the block area, they may build a very elaborate, beautiful creation, and so I'll ask them about it and I'll say, well, can we make a video of it? And so we'll make recordings as to what it was that they were doing, how they came up with the ideas, and then I'll share it with the parents. I'll ask the parents if they want to see the video, see what the kids have created.
And just to be clear, you don't work for Apple Computer?
I do not work for Apple Computer at all, and I don't own stock in Apple Computer.
Okay, and too bad, right?
yeah, that would have been nice.
But what if I came and I said, Mr. Crowell, thanks for trying out the iPad 2, we got to take it back.
I think the kids in the whole school would be wondering where my iPad went. Where's the iPad? Because I think they've, for me, I've been in our school so long that the kids think of me as the teacher who has certain things that they love. But this year, walking around with the iPad and having the kids interact with it and try different apps, I think the students in the school look at me as going, oh, that's the
Mr.
teacher with the
iPad.
iPad. That's Mr. iPad.
But so you've taught for 15 years
Yes.
without an iPad.
Without an iPad.
Now you have an iPad. Can you imagine what it would be like to go back? I mean, is it that integral to the way you teach, or?
It's not that integral to the way I teach. What it is it's one more tool that I can find out the abilities of the kids. I use it as another form of assessment with the kids to see where they're at. And it's also, it is in their environment, it is in their daily lives at home. It's going to only get more and more involved in their lives as they get older. So it's important at the young ages for get the kids to be comfortable with using the different devices. It's not something that I think you should wait, until 4th or 5th grade before you introduce this mode of teaching to the kids. If the iPad wasn't there tomorrow, I would be fine. I'd be all right with it. The kids would adjust to it quickly because kids are quick to adjust. But at the same point, it would be something that would give me one less thing that I could utilize to reach the students, each individual child in the classroom. It really does help me to see where the kids are at. One more tool for me to get to understand them and to recognize what their strengths and weaknesses are.